Notice what's going on in your body. Notice what's going on. Starting with the head, working down to the toes, just a gentle body scan. Noticing what's going on. Good. Feeling the tension releasing from your face, from your eyes, from your nose, from your mouth. Allow the tongue to drop from the roof of your mouth, releasing tension there. Good. Great. Go ahead and open your eyes when you're ready. Just want to welcome you all in. Thank you so much for coming in today and joining me. Happy Thanksgiving. Welcome, welcome. If you're not familiar with me, my name is Rachel. I'm a true hot yoga teacher at heart, but yoga is life for me. And so I'm grateful to be able to share this time with you. If at any time you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to unmute yourself and holler at me. I do have my microphone on so I can hear if you have anything going on. I'll do my best to take a look at you guys, make sure your bodies are moving the right way. Let's just get some gentle, nice yoga flowing going today, some grounding, some peace, and most of all, some gratitude. So come to the center of your mat, wherever you need to be. We're going to start today in a child's pose. So you can choose your child's pose here by bringing the knees really tight together, or maybe you want to separate those knees and bring the big toes to touch. I prefer the separation of the knees because we're going to start to work on opening those hips today. So if you can, and your body is allowing you today, go ahead and get those big toes to touch, separate the knees wide, and then start to walk that belly in between the thighs. Extend those arms long. Maybe you draw your forehead into the mat. Maybe you grab a hold of a block. Maybe your belly doesn't quite reach. You want to place it under the belly. You can also place it underneath the forehead, just depending on how close you're getting into that mat. Go ahead and start in this beautiful resting child's pose. Feel your forehead grounding in. Maybe taking a moment to rock that forehead side to side. Acknowledging your third eye. Acknowledging the power that resides there. Good. Maybe walk those hands out a little bit forward, pressing the palms into the mat. Give yourself a nice little self-adjustment by pushing the palms into the mat and pressing your hips down towards the heels a little bit farther, feeling the opening up through those hips just a little further. Allow yourself to breathe. Inhale deeply. And exhale fully. If you'd like to add on a little bit of a shoulder stretch here, you can walk those hands a little farther forward and draw the palms together in a prayer position. Keeping the biceps super close to the ears, you can bend your elbows and create a little shark fin above the back of your head. This will increase the stretch through your shoulders. You should be feeling this right where the neck meets the shoulders. And just breathe. Remember, our breath carries us here. The depth of the breath determines the depth of your pose. Just breathe deep here. Press into the palms if you have that little shark fin going. Increase the stretch. If you have that little shark fin and you're not feeling anything, walk the elbows a little farther towards the top of your mat. Feel the stretch, strengthen in between the shoulder blades and up through the neck. Use your exhale to settle in a little deeper here. And take a moment to go in deep and find something you're grateful for. It is Thanksgiving, so we want to find an opportunity. This is a great opportunity for us to find that thanking, that gratefulness, that gratitude. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be materialistic. It can be spiritual. It can be emotional. It doesn't matter. What are you grateful for today? Maybe you find several things. Normally, when we recognize one thing we're grateful for, there's a procession in our brain of all the other things that we can be grateful for. Good. If you have that shark fin up, use your next exhale to release the knife's edge of those hands back down. Walk those hands so they're in line with your shoulders. And then press into the palms one last time to really sink the hips to the heels. Maybe you rock that forehead side to side, massaging that third eye again. Taking another moment for gratitude, another moment for thanks. Good. Stop the rocking and begin pressing yourself up, walking the hands towards your body. Good. Sit up tall and then draw the knees together if they're not already, coming into that traditional child's pose seat. Sitting up tall here, if you want to add on for a toe stretch, I encourage you to curl your toes under, sweep them with your fingertips to make sure you're gathering them all in, and sit down onto those toes. This is going to stretch through the soles of your feet and through those toes, super nice. Okay. So as you hang out here, either on the toes or with the toes released, I want you to start to drop your chin towards your chest. Really think about stacking head over heart and heart over pelvis first. You want that nice long line from the base of your pelvis all the way up to the crown of the head. Then drop the chin into the chest, just drawing that chin really tight towards that little soft spot at your throat, at your chest, at your collarbone. Feeling the stretch through the neck. Good. On your next inhale, lift up the head, look forward. Now drop your right ear to the right shoulder. Good. Feeling the stretch down the left side of the neck. If you want to increase the stretch, release the hands down by your sides and start to touch the mat next to you. Notice the stretch increase through that left shoulder. If you need a little bit more, start to press through the left palm, lifting it from the mat and pressing away from you. It'll feel like you're trying to press a wall. The fingers, the hands, everything starts to really strengthen here. You should be feeling this all the way from the pinky up to the shoulder and into that ear. Still need a little bit more? Take your right hand, drop it onto your left ear. Gently, just use the gravity, the weight of your arm to peel that head down a little bit. If at any time you feel a super pinch or a stabbing, back out, come back one step, and then acknowledge your body. What does it need today? Good. Release the fingertips on the left hand, release the right hand, and draw your head back up. Good job, you guys. Let's go to the other side. Drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. Good. Feeling the stretch already through the right side of your neck. Need a little bit more. Tap the mat with those fingertips. And then start to press the right palm away from you, lifting it from the mat, pushing away. You should be feeling the increase in the stretch all the way up through your arm, into the neck, through the ear. If you're super stretchy today, super flexible, and you need a little bit more, reach that left arm up and drop the palm gently onto the right ear. Gentle here. Only allow gravity. Don't yank and pull on your head. Just use the weight of your hand to pull it down. If you feel that pinching or super stab, come out a little bit. We don't ever want to harm our bodies here. It's about stretching and using the breath to go deeper and feel the stretching in the muscles. Never any pain, maybe a little discomfort. That's okay. That's part of the challenge. Good. Gently release the left hand, release the fingertips, head comes up. Good job. Bring the hands to heart center in prayer and drop the chin back into the chest, keeping the length through the spine. Good. Smile. Think of something you're grateful for. Good. Keep that smile on your face. Look up. Start to press the palms forward and away from you. Stretch through the fingers. Reach out in front like you're trying to push something away from you. Really expand through those fingers. Reach, 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 reach. Good. Now take your left hand and grab a hold of the right fingertips. Start to peel them back toward your arm. Stretching through the palm, stretching through the fingers. Good. Really feel that stretch. Get the thumb involved. We tend to leave the thumb out on this one. Just give it a nice little pull back. Good. Feel that stretch. Nice. Switch. Press the palms away and then take the right fingertips, grabbing a hold of the left fingertips and peeling them back towards your arm. Good. Don't forget the thumb, get it involved, give it a nice little pull, a nice little stretch. We're waking up those hands. So when we start to get onto those hands for movement, they're ready to go. They're nice and warmed up and strong. Good. Gently release. And now point the fingertips down. Yoga with Adrienne, she likes to refer to this as thriller fingers. So I'll go ahead and use that today, our thriller hands. We like to push the wrist forward away from you as you pull the fingertips back towards you, really stretching through the arms. Feeling the stretch through the top of the hand, through the forearm, and into that elbow. Good. Now wiggle the fingers from side to side. Windshield wiper those fingers from side to side. Good. Nice job. Gently release, shake it out, let it go. Now, I want you to shift forward onto all fours. Tap out your toes. I bet they've been barking at you. Let it go. If you have somebody that lives below you in an apartment, just be considerate of them. Don't tap too hard, but stretch through those toes and get that release going. Stack your head over your, not your head over your heart, your shoulders over your wrists. Spread your fingers super wide. We want to start to create that spider grip where we're grabbing a hold of the mat. You actually want to feel like you're trying to pull the mat underneath your fingertips here. Spread those fingers wide and think about a nice long spine from the crown of the head to the tip of the tailbone. Think about bringing your belly button up to meet your spine. This is our neutral position here. The knees are underneath the hip points, and when you look back between your thighs, your shins and your toes are going to start to disappear behind those thighs. That's how you know you have that nice parallel line, those two railroad tracks going. Now, start to press down through the shins behind you. Notice how it changes the accent of your body here. It almost starts to shift you forward. We want to activate through those legs and keep those legs active. Good. Look forward. And as you inhale, start to drop the belly. Start with the tailbone and work your way all the way up to the crown of the head. Look up towards the sky. We're in our cow posture. Inhaling deeply and exhaling fully. Give me a couple of rounds of breath here as we stretch out through the lower back. Feel the front side of your belly really stretching here. Look up towards the sky. Eye gaze is really reaching up. You can even hear the inflection in my voice because I'm struggling to look up so hard. Good. Use your next exhale. Start with the tailbone. Begin rounding that belly button up towards the spine. Pull the chin towards the chest. Still pressing down through the shins behind us. Squeezing into that spider grip with those hands. Don't lock out through the elbows. Push your hips towards your elbows. Squeeze. Chin is tight into the chest. Keep breathing. Don't hold the breath here. Feeling the stretch through the body as we work into this cat position, this Marjarasana. Good. Inhale, drop your belly. Look up. Good. Exhale, round and curl. Starting to move with your breath now. Inhale, drop the belly. Look up. Exhale, round and curl, round and curl, round and curl. Good. Inhale, drop the belly. Even if you're not where I am with the prompt for your breath, use your breath to move you. Exhale, round and curl. Pull that belly button in tight. Squeeze those hips forward. And inhale, drop the belly. Look up. Doing 3 more. Exhale, round and curl. Pressing down through those shins. Inhale, look up. Last 2, inhale, round it out. All right, exhale, round it out, Press down through the shins, press through the palms. And inhale, drop the belly. Cow, look up. Last one, make it count. Press through the palms, arch that spine, pull that chin to the chest, squeeze everything in. And inhale, drop the belly, look up. Good, come back into that neutral spine. Crown of the head reaches forward. Nice. Bring those knees back together, bring the toes back together, and sink your hips back to your heels. I'm going to turn just so you can see me here. Hopefully y'all can see me still. That my sun's starting to come up here, so it might block us. I'll check it out here in a minute, but we'll make sure everybody can get what they need from this class today. So Knees are back together. We're sinking onto our heels. You can come back into that toe stretch if you really want to challenge yourself today. Otherwise, just sit nice and strong onto those heels. Good. I want you to inhale, reach up to the sky. Reach, reach, reach. Start to climb an imaginary ladder. Pull onto those rungs, feeling the sides of your body stretch. Look up towards that ladder. How high can you climb? How high can you climb? Keep climbing, keep climbing. Good. Reach up, spread those fingers wide. Look forward. Grab a hold of that right wrist with the left hand and turn your right palm up to the sky. Now, draw your shoulders back and down away from your ears. Good. As you inhale next, shift your weight and pull that right arm with the left over your right ear. Starting to feel the stretch from the right pinky all the way down the side of the body into that right hip. You're working to keep that hip grounded into your sit bones. Good. Look up. Smile. A little mini Ardha Chandrasana, our half moon pose here from the floor. Good. Inhale, come back out. Exhale, let a little bit go here. Drop the head back, drop the shoulders to touch, squeeze. Good. Inhale, reaching back up, grabbing a hold of that left wrist this time and pulling it up, squeezing the shoulder blades together and then pulling them back and down away from the ears, biceps away from the ears. Good. Shift the hips to the left and start to peel that left arm over the left ear. Good. Think about pulling your left shoulder back and open. Look up towards the sky. Good. Feeling your breath. Use your breath. Keep it controlled in and out through the nose. When we start to breathe in and out through that mouth, we activate that fight or flight. I don't want you guys to run away from this practice. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Smile. Another opportunity to find something you're grateful for. Think of something here that really resonates for you. Let it bring a smile to your face. Good, nice deep breath. Settle it into your body. Good job. Now, we're gonna shift it back onto all fours. Tap out those toes if you need to. Good, now I want you to walk the feet back. Come into a plank first and then drop down onto your belly. Bring those hands, arms wide. So elbows go wide away from the mat. Stack your palms and place your forehead on top of those hands. Good. Rock your hips from side to side. We're just in a little sleeping crocodile here, releasing some tension through the hips and through the thighs that we may have just created by sitting on those feet. Good. Forehead into that stack. Nice. Good. Moving into a little baby Bhujangasana, baby cobra. I want you to draw the elbows really close to the body and maybe bring your thumb tips right underneath that nipple area. That's going to help you find your foundation, bringing those hands just underneath the shoulders, a little farther back. Maybe if you can squeeze those arms together, imagine you're like a locust or a grasshopper, and these are your grasshopper legs. Inhale, lift up through the chest, press down through the toes behind you. Good, feeling the stretch through the lower back. And exhale, release that chest down. Bring those hands back out in front. We're back in that sleeping crocodile. Maybe you rock the hips from side to side. Just breathe. Good. This time, I want you to bring your hands out about 4 inches apart in front of your face. Good, start to press through the palms, rotate your elbows and push up. Seal pose. So we're not quite into that cobra, but we're a little bit farther out from that baby cobra, starting to feel the lower spine stretch. Push into those palms, look up towards the sky. Hips are pressing, thighs are pressing, tops of the toes are all pressing into the mat here. Press through the palms, smile as you look up, and exhale, release it back down, back into that sleepy crocodile, forehead into the palms. Elbows out towards the edges of your mat, really allowing the shoulders to release. Maybe you rock those hips from side to side again, bringing those legs super zipped up tight. Good, moving into our full cobra now. If full cobra is a little too intense for your spine, I want you to go back into that seal, that one we just did, reaching the hands out in front, okay? Good, bring the thumbs underneath the nipple area, tuck your little grasshopper legs in super tight next to your body, and inhale, push up, lift up, maybe the hips lift, the legs stay grounded, Pressing through the thighs. Look up towards the sky. Breathing, Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. Micro bend in the elbows, don't lock them out. Good, can you look over your right shoulder? Find your toes. Changes the stretch. Good, look back up. And now over the left shoulder. Find your toes. Good, look back up. Eye gaze back down between the thumbs and slowly release. Back into that baby crocodile, sleeping crocodile. Rock those hips from side to side, forehead into those hands. Good job. Bring those thumbs underneath that nipple area, curl onto the toes. I want you to inhale, push up, power up. You can come up through the knees if you need to, but we all want to find ourselves in plank. Hands underneath the shoulders. Spread those fingers wide, create that spider grip, really grip onto the mat. Tuck your belly button to your spine, squeeze your butt cheeks, extend those heels long. Really press through the heels, hold, 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 and shift your hips up to the sky. First downward dog. Shake the head no. Nod it yes. Nice job. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. Slowly rise up. I want you to trace a line up the front of your legs using your fingertips. Keep a micro bend in your elbows. When you get to the top, shoulders drop back and down, and then we reach up to the sky. Really reach, 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 reach. Maybe you come onto your toes into Talasana, palm tree pose. I'm a little wiggly this morning. That happens, but we're going to practice this one. So come onto the toes. Reach, reach, reach. If you fall out, get back in. That's part of being a yogi. Good. Gently release it down. Hands to heart center. Close your eyes. Breathe. Good job, you guys. Beautiful work. Nice. Good. Find something you're grateful for. We're going to be doing this several times throughout this practice. Breathe in deep. Let it come all the way to the tips of your toes with that gratitude. Smile, open your eyes. Inhale, reach up for the sky. I'm going to turn so you guys can see me here. What I want you to do is grab a hold again of that right wrist. Start to peel those arms up towards the sky. We're moving to standing half moon pose. So we really want to grab a hold of that wrist. Right palm turns up towards the sky. Now drop your shoulders back and down to create space between your biceps and your ears. Lift up and shift your hips to the right as you peel the right bicep over the right ear. Extend it long. Feeling this through the nice edge or the outside pinky edge of your right foot, all the way up through the shin, the outside of the hip, into the outside of your right arm, through the armpit, up through the outside edge of your right arm, into that pinky. Feel the stretch. Now, imagine that you're rounding over a beach ball on this left side. We don't want to squeeze and sink into the side. We want to reach up and round over so we can feel that nice stretch through the right side of the body. Keep breathing. Don't hold the breath. Inhale, come on out. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Breathe. Good job, you guys. Beautiful work. Nice deep breaths, keeping that smile on your face. Good, moving into the other side. Inhale, reaches those arms up. Grab a hold of the left wrist, left palm faces up. Really reach up to the sky and then drop the shoulders down behind your ears, away from your ears. Maybe think about squeezing something between the shoulder blades. Lift up through your pelvic floor, tighten through that pelvic floor, shift your hips to the left and start peeling the left ear or left bicep over the left ear. Look up. Peel that left shoulder open, right shoulder comes under. Really feeling the opening here. You should be feeling this from the left pinky, down through the outside edge of your left arm, through the armpit, into that left hip, and all the way straight down into the pinky edge of your left foot. Good, holding it here. Inhale, come out a little bit. Think about that beach ball on the right side. Round over it so you're not sinking into the side, but you're lifting up and out. This protects your lower spine and helps you really feel the stretch to the side of that body. Good, inhale, come out. Exhale, gently cactus those arms and let the head fall back. A light back bend, nothing too deep. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, let's swan dive. So press the sides of the room away with your hands. Keep the spine super long and fold down, coming forward fold. Our first Uttanasana of class. Let it hang heavy here. Bring the hands into the mat. The most important part of this is that your hands are into the mat next to your feet. I don't care how much your knees are bent in order for you to get there. You start to work on straightening the legs once you have those hands grounded. Let your head hang heavy. Maybe shake it no. Not a yes. Good. Giving thanks here. Being super proud of yourself for showing up today. Showing up for yourself. Showing up for your yoga mat. Showing up for your practice. Be really proud. Be grateful for being a part of yourself and your practice today. Good. Slowly roll it up. Tracing that line up the front of those legs, stacking one vertebrae at a time. Come all the way up, reach up to the sky, and exhale, hands down to heart center. Hopefully you still have that smile on your face. We're gonna move into a little kneeling salute to the gods and goddesses. It's called Deva Namaskar in my traditional practice. We wanna inhale, reach on up to the sky. Exhale, press the sides of your room away. Press that back super long, forward fold down into that Uttanasana. Back into that forward fold, walk the hands out, walk the feet out. Find yourself in plank again. Holding here, breathe. Extend your heels long, pull your belly button in, tuck your tailbone under. Squeeze through the hands, get that spider grip going. Smile. Be uber proud of whatever your body is capable of today. Good, shift it back. Downward facing dog. Lift those hips high up to the sky. Think about rotating the armpits towards one another as you spiral the inner thighs in to meet. Lift those hips up a little bit higher, working to get those heels down to the mat. Good. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Point your toes. Flex your foot. Point those toes, flex that foot. Good, now draw your right knee in tight towards your chest. Keep that left foot grounded. Now come onto the left toes, shift your body weight forward. Drop the right foot in between the hands. Find yourself in that lunge. Think about trying to get this right thigh super parallel with the mat below, keeping the knee right above the ankle. We don't want it to pass over the ankle. You can damage your kneecap, okay? Holding here, finding your foundation, and then dropping down to your left knee. Release through the toes and press down through that left shin. Bring the hands to the hips and inhale. Come on up. Reach those arms up to the sky and then down through heart center in prayer. Good. Squeeze an imaginary block between the legs. That's going to help you pull everything in together and help you find that foundation. We're also pressing strongly through that back shin. Good. Inhale, reach up. Palms come together in prayer. Cross the right thumb over the left. Pull your shoulders down and back and drop your chin to your chest. Squeeze everything together. Here comes the balance. Good. Round it out. Think about pulling your belly button in tight. Keep your chin tucked tight into your chest and reach your forehead towards your knee. Your prayer hands are going to reach out in front of that right toe, or you can frame the foot here for stability. Working on this right side, our male-dominated side, we're giving thanks, our kneeling salute to the gods on this right side. Now notice you might have a shortness of breath. It's because we're rinsing out our thyroid and our pituitary gland here. We're creating that choking sensation on purpose. We're activating the Maha Bandha, the great lock. We're locking the Mula Bandha, the Uddiyana Bandha, and the Jalandhara Bandha in order to create a fire within our bodies. Keep breathing deep. Keep squeezing those inner thighs towards one another, holding your foundation, pressing through the shin behind you. Use your next inhale to draw those hands back together in prayer. Keep your biceps by your ears, chin tucked tight into the chest. Inhale, press through that right foot. Come on up. Yield your sword, reach it to the sky. Maybe look up at it. Good. Windmill those hands down to frame that right foot. Good job. Curl onto those left toes. Kick your right foot back. Plank first, then downward facing dog. Now you can hold here, downward dog, or maybe you drop down, do knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga.
moving through your up dog, and then meet me back in down dog. Otherwise, just take a break here, couple of breaths. Close your eyes for a moment. Visualize your right hand coming up and patting your left shoulder, giving yourself that pat on the back. Be really proud of yourself and your practice today and what you're capable of. Good. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Eyes open or closed, it doesn't matter here. Draw that left foot in tight. Kick it back out and let's get that foot stretch in. Flex your foot like you're standing against a wall. Now point your toes. Now flex your foot. Now point your toes. Good. Flex the foot and draw it in tight like you're a flamingo. Really pull it into your body, keeping that right foot down. Now come onto the right toes and shift your body weight forward, coming over the shoulders, over the hands, then drop that left foot into that lunge. Good. Square your hips. Think about drawing your right hip forward and your left hip back, squeezing that imaginary block between the thighs. Good. Drop it down to the right knee and release your right toes, pressing down through that right shin. Squeeze that imaginary block between the thighs and pull those hands to the hips as you come on up. Good. Squeeze that imaginary block between those thighs. Hold it there. Inhale, reach up. Palms come together. This time the left thumb crosses over the top. We drop our shoulders back and down, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Maybe you look up. Find that sword, yield that sword. And as you drop the chin to the chest, start pulling the belly button in. Allow that to be what rounds you over, bringing the forehead into the knee and the chin into the chest. Maybe you keep those hands out in prayer in front of that big toe, or you frame the foot here for stability. Notice the shortening of your breath here. We're rinsing out our thyroid, pressing through that pituitary gland. So the pressure into that third eye on your knee, that's rinsing the pituitary gland. That choking sensation or the shortness of breath that you're feeling, that's the thyroid being rinsed, bringing fresh blood and oxygen into those spaces. Still pressing down through the shin behind you. Breathe. Remember, if it's super intense to be on your knees, you can always roll up your mat or a towel underneath that leg. Just make sure it's not too much of a cushion because I don't want you to roll out the kneecap. Good. Press down through that shin behind you. Press in through the big toe. Bring your palms back together if they're not already there. Keep your biceps by the ears and use your inhale to come on up. Yield your sword. Reach it to the sky. Giving thanks to the goddesses on this left side. Good. Windmill it down. Frame the foot. Curl back onto your right toes. Shift it back, plank first. Then move through that vinyasa flow. Chaturanga into upward facing dog. And meet me in down dog. Good job. Drop it back down to the knees. Let those knees go wide. Big toes come to touch. Hips to heels. And walk it out into that extended child's pose. Forehead into the mat or stacked on top of the fists. Breathing here. Letting go. Good job, you guys. Next, we're going to be moving into a little bit of a warrior flow. A little bit of tree involved so we can get some grounding. Fun little flow on each side, so prepare yourself. If you're familiar with what tree and warrior look like, maybe take a moment here to visualize your body moving into those shapes. Good job. Slowly start to press yourself up. Come on up, maybe with a smile. Sitting hips to heels, knees wide. Good. Walk it forward. Come onto all fours first. Then curl onto the toes. Lift those hips back into that downward facing dog. Good. Wiggle your tail a little bit. Wiggle your booty in the air. Notice how it releases and strengthens those calves. Good. Stop that rocking. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, swing it all the way up and through. Bring it into that long lunge. Starting with warrior one, I want you to rotate your back foot so the left toes are facing the left corner of your mat and your heels are in alignment. So right toes are facing forward. There's a nice bend in the right knee. Left leg is nice and straight, and we're pushing into the knife's edge or the pinky edge of that left foot. Bring your hands to your hips and inhale to peel the body up. Good. Front leg is still bent. Hips are trying to face forward towards those front right toes. Inhale, reach your arms up. Warrior one, you guys. Virabhadrasana one. Smile. Say thank you. Good. Windmill the left arm down and open it up to the back of the room, reaching the right arm forward. Now rotate your back, your left foot, so it's parallel with the back edge of your mat. Moving into that warrior two. Sink it down. Get nice and deep on that right thigh, working to get the right thigh parallel with the mat below. Now I want you to think about your positioning. If we lean too far back, we're in the past. If we lean too far forward, we're in the future. We want to be right here in the present. So think about stacking head over heart and heart over pelvis. Shoulders drop back and down. Pull that pelvic floor under. Good. Looking out over the right fingertips. Sink it down a little farther. Now reverse the warrior by dropping your left hand down towards the left thigh and reach your right arm up to the sky. Look up at the right thumb. Don't press with the left hand, just let it drape onto that thigh. Opening up here. Good. Come back to warrior two. Windmill those hands down, frame that left foot. Rotate on the back foot so it comes onto the toes. Sweep the right arm up to the sky. Side twisting lunge. Smile as you look up at those right fingertips. Maybe you find the crescent moon in that thumbnail. Good. Windmill the right hand down. Frame the foot. Kick it back. Plank. Move through your chaturanga vinyasa. And then meet me in that down dog. Shake the head no. Nod it yes. Rotate those upper arm bones out and away. Rotate those inner thighs in towards one another. Squeezing that imaginary block between the thighs. Breathe. Find something you're grateful for. The list just keeps getting bigger and bigger. The more we can find things we're grateful for, the more they start to appear for us. Hold on to that spider grip. Yoga is a constant battle, adjusting to hold, adjusting to hold, adjusting to hold. Good. Inhale, left leg lifts. Swing it all the way up and through. Bring it into that long lunge. Square your hips. Right hip forward, left hip back, squeezing that imaginary block between the thighs. Let's drop that right foot down into that 45-degree angle. So the right toes are trying to face the right corner of your mat or the right corner of the room. Left toes face forward. We're tearing the mat apart with our feet. We're imagining that we're pushing so hard into our feet that it's going to tear our mat apart. Bring your hands to your hips and inhale. Come on up. Good. Sink it down a little farther. Reach those arms up overhead. Warrior one. Maybe you look up at those fingers up towards the sky, reaching for those blessings, giving thanks, and sending it back out to the universe. Good. Smile as you rotate out. Warrior two. Right foot turns to be parallel with the back of the mat. Left toes stay where they are. Sink it down a little farther. Open up. Don't reach too far back into the past or too far into the future. Stack head over heart and heart over pelvis. Pulling your pelvic floor in, sinking it down, looking over those left fingertips. Keep smiling. Keep finding things to be grateful for. When your mind starts to wander, to go back to that gratitude. Good. Reverse your warrior. Drop the right hand down. Reach the left arm up to the sky. Right hand is just laying on this right thigh. It's not doing or grabbing or pushing. Looking up at the left thumb. See if you can find the crescent moon in your thumbnail. Breathe. Good. Open up. Back to warrior two. Beautiful job. Sink it down a little farther. Now windmill out. Frame the foot. Rotate on that back foot, come onto the toes. Drop the right hand in, reach the left arm up to the sky. Look up at it. Good, hand comes down to frame the foot, step the left foot back, plank. Move through a Chaturanga Vinyasa, knees, chest, chin is fine here, or just shift it back to downward dog. Listen to your body, what does it need from you? Good, shake your tail, wiggle your booty, let go of some of that tension in the lower spine, and then walk the feet to the center of the mat. Walk the hands to meet the feet. Now, heel toe your feet out so they're just about max distance apart. A little wider than your normal hips distance here, okay? Now turn your toes out towards the edge of the mat, maybe let them spill out over the edge of the mat, and then start to sink it down. Hips coming towards the heels, knees are tracking out past your toes. So we're coming into that little yogi squat or garland pose, malasana. You want to bring the palms together at the heart and start pressing away on those inner thighs using the elbows. Feeling the inner stretch on those thighs. Just breathe in our yogi squat here. For me, this is one of those yoga poses where I really feel like I'm being grateful, like I'm able to express a lot of gratitude. It almost feels like a permanent prayer position for me. So I wanted to make sure we included Malasana into our flow today to really bring that gratitude in all the way from the root of our core up through and out of our being. Good job. Place the hands into the mat. Carefully, gently lift your hips up to the sky. Rotate your toes forward. Keep that distance between the feet and rock your hips from side to side. Good. Heel toe your feet back together. And then slowly micro bend in the knees. Rise on up. Come back up to stand. We're going to move into a little bit of a tree practice. Bring your hands, palms together in prayer. Drop your shoulders back and down. Really zip up through the body. I want you to imagine this current of energy. It comes up the top of your feet. It lifts the kneecaps. It lifts the pelvic floor. It lifts your sternum up towards those thumbs. It lifts your chin and your chest towards the sky. And then it cascades back down the backside of your head. It drops the shoulders down. It releases the hips towards the heels. And you'll feel your heels actually ground into the mat. You might even be able to feel that energy roll back up underneath the feet and come back up the front side. It's cyclical. It keeps going round and round and round. Lifting, structuring, and grounding us into the mat. Good. Lift through your left toes and replace them down one at a time, starting with the pinky toe and working to that big toe. Ground in deep. And then start to shift the weight to the left leg as you rise the right leg up. So the right knee is coming up almost like you're on a puppet string here, and somebody's got that puppet string on your knee, and they're pulling up that leg. Rotate your ankle a few times. Stretch that foot. Good. Now reach down and grab a hold of your ankle. Pull it into your inner thigh. If this is a little too intense for you, bring it to your shin. You can even kickstand with that big toe on the mat and just bring your heel towards your ankle here. Find your place. Find your balance today. Where are you going to go? You can even hold on to that ankle. That sometimes helps me when I'm losing my balance. Grab a hold of that ankle and just hold. Left hand is at heart center. Breathe. We're going to do a couple rounds of this tree. So know that wherever you're going now, we have room for improvement on the next round, okay? Good. Release those limbs up. Reach to the sky. Grow your tree. Yes. Drop those hands back down to heart. And let's try and release that leg the way we went in. So grab a hold of your ankle. Turn it towards the front. Release it down. And then slowly drop that leg. Good job. Shake it out. Wiggle your tail. Wiggle those arms. Swing them out. Little Michael Phelps arms here. Whatever you need to do. Good. Now rock back and forth on your on your heels and toes. Heels and toes, lifting. That way you can feel that nice stretch. Good. Let's move on to the other side. Lift through the right toes and replace them down one at a time, starting with the pinky toe. Be conscious of each toe falling into the mat. Feel the pressure spread across all four corners of your feet.
Good, place a micro bend in your knee. It's gonna help you lift up from the pelvic floor and start to shift the weight onto the right as you lift your left knee up. Again, on that puppet string, like somebody's pulling up through your knee. Right hand is at heart. Can you reach down and grab a hold of your left ankle? Pull that left foot in. Tree. Remember, you can hold the ankle. You can always go to the shin or to kickstand here as well. All of them have the same power, the same energy. It doesn't matter if you can't get it up here today. Your body isn't ready to do that today, and that's okay. Honor wherever your body chooses to be today. If you fall out, get back in. That just makes you a yogi. Good. Whenever you find your balance, grow your limbs. Reach up to the sky. Grow that tree. Always remind yourself, don't place that foot on the knee. If it's anywhere near that knee, move it up or down, okay? We don't want to blow out our knees. Our knees are so important to our everyday health and wellness. Good. Slowly try and release the way we went in. Let it go. Wiggle it out, step that leg wide, and really shift through those hips. Let something go here. Woo! Good job, you guys. I don't know about you, but I'm sweating. Good. Bring those heels and toes back to touch. Here's our second round of that tree. We want to step those right toes out away from us. This time, we're going to trace a line and draw them back in. Let's start with that kickstand down below. So the big toe is touching, and the heel is pressing up against that left ankle. Just opening the hip up towards this right side. Good, now bring it to the shin. Good, now grab a hold if you need and bring it all the way up to that inner thigh. Maybe that was an easier transition for you than just grabbing a hold of the leg and moving it in. Try this next time you move into your tree. Good, grow your limbs. If you want a little bit of a challenge, you can reach down with the peace sign fingers and your thumb and grab a hold of your right big toe, moving yourself into that sundial if you'd like, kicking the right toes out and hold. Choose your own adventure. No judgments anywhere from any of us towards each other. No judgments for yourself, please. We're our own worst critics sometimes. Don't be your own worst critic today. Just acknowledge where your body is and say thank you. Good, gently release it down, let it go, step it out to the right and swing those hips. You guys are doing so great, so great. We just have a few more moments on this next side with tree. We'll give a little thanks and move down to some floor practice. Bring your heels and toes back to touch. Lift up through the right toes, ground them in one at a time. Kick the left toes to the side of your mat and start to draw a line tracing those toes to meet your ankle. So the heel is pressed against the ankle and the big toe is just barely tapping here. It's helping us find our balance. Maybe you bring it up to the shin. Maybe you can grab a hold and bring it all the way into that inner thigh. Choose your own adventure. What works for you today? What works on this side of the body? Remember, we have a male-dominated side and a female-dominated side. So just like any old school married couple, they're going to have days where they're off and they fight a little bit. That's okay. Acknowledge that. Say thank you. And then come back to it another day. Grow your limbs. Reach for the sky. Gather up some of that gratitude while you're there. Say thank you. And then slowly release. Gently release. Try and move as gracefully as you can. Shift those hips out. Good job, you guys. Ground in with those feet. Lift through those toes. Draw those heels and toes back together. Feel the roots of your body growing into the mat below. Feel that grounding sensation. Lift up. Once again, imagining that current of energy, lifting the front side and grounding down the back side of your body. Hands at heart center, close your eyes. Keeping your spine super long, drop your chin towards your chest. Saying thank you. Thank you, body. Thank you, mind. Thank you, yoga. Smile as you find that gratitude. Open your eyes. Inhale, reach up to the sky. And as you exhale, forward fold. Come on down with that swan dive. Come into that Uttanasana, that forward fold. Good. Start to bend through the knees and sink your hips down. How far can you go before you fall? Good. Stretch your legs out in front. Dandasana. So we want to make sure that we're sitting on the front sit bones. And the way I like to get that is I like to grab that flesh from my booty, move it out of the way so you can feel those sit bones really ground into the mat. Then we sit up tall, extend the legs long, and flex through your feet. So imagine you're standing against a wall with those feet. Good. Inhale, reach up. Reach, reach, reach. Climb that ladder so you can feel the length on your body. Climb it, climb it, climb it. Good. Extend forward. Bring the thigh to the belly to the thighs and reach those hands to grab a hold of your feet. Good. Bending through the knees as much as you need here. Start to round the forehead into those knees. Release the arms beside the legs and just let it go here. Catch your breath. Good. Start to straighten through the legs a little bit more, taking that bend out of the knees, lengthen through the spine, lift up and press through the palms. Extend your chin long and see how far you can fold. Feeling the stretch change now in the back. We were working on that lower spine. Now we're in the middle and upper spine. Extending chin towards the shin and nose towards the toes. Good. Slowly rise back up. Bring the soles of the feet together and come into that Baddha Konasana, cobbler's pose. Knees are wide, soles of the feet touching here. You can bring the heels in as close towards the body as you think is necessary for you to feel that nice stretch on the inside of those thighs. No matter where you go, I want you to start to grab a hold, use your thumbs on the inside of the arches, grab the tops of your feet and start to rotate the soles of your feet towards the sky, bringing the pinky edge of your feet together, opening your feet like you're opening a book. A little time for some soul reflection. So look into the soles of your feet. What do you see? Maybe you see your love. Maybe you see your light. Maybe you see that guiding energy. Maybe your faith is here. What's in the soles of your feet? Read your book. What's important to you today? It's almost like reflecting into a pond. We see our reflection back. Do the same with your feet. Massage through the feet. Maybe you take your fingertips and stick them in between your toes, feeling the stretch in between your toes here, how it lengthens through the soles of your feet. We very rarely give ourselves much love to our feet or acknowledge and say thank you as much as we should. These things carry us around. They're our foundation. They're what gets us to and from. So we always want to take an opportunity to find gratitude for our feet, for our ankles, for our soles. Maybe you massage up through the calves. Good. Now press the soles of the feet back together and start to walk yourself back to drop onto your forearms. We're working our way into that Supta Baddha Konasana. So I want you to take yourself all the way down to your back when you're ready, keeping the soles of the feet touching and allowing the legs to be wide. Gently lay it down, and when you get there, tuck your shoulders back in together. Lift your heart space up towards the sky. Then drop your fingertips down by your thighs onto the mat and look up towards the sky. Maybe close your eyes here and just breathe. Feeling the stretch through the inner thighs. If it's super intense, you can always walk the heels away from the groin area down towards the edge of your mat a little bit, creating more of that diamond shape instead of a triangle. Also, if you have your bricks available, you can place them underneath your knees or underneath your thighs. That'll help support your hips a little bit and allow you to stay within this posture a little longer. Now bring your right hand to your heart and your left hand to your belly. Starting to acknowledge your breath. In and out through the nose. If your heart is racing, you have control here. Say, slow down. Tell it, slow down. If your breath is out of control, maybe you hold the breath at the top when you inhale. Just hold it for a moment, gaining control over that breath, and then slowly, gently exhale. Taking another moment to find something you're grateful for. Maybe it's your heartbeat or your breath. Maybe it's the sunshine out your window or the moon glowing out of your window, depending on what time zone you're in. Maybe you're just thankful for another opportunity to open your eyes today. Good. Use your exhale, release the hands down by your thighs, and use your next inhale to close those legs. Use the fingertips for help. Close those legs like you're closing a book. Now the soles of the feet are into the mat and the knees are up towards the sky. We really want to tuck those shoulder blades up underneath that heart space. And now reach your arms out beside you like airplane wings. Go ahead and glance over your shoulders just to make sure that you're not going above your earlobes here, and tuck those shoulders back and down. Tuck your chin back into your chest. As you inhale, lift up the hips about 2 to 3 inches off the mat. Shift them over to the left about 2 to 3 inches, and now drop your hips down. Now, I know you're in a little funky curve here. That's okay. Kick up off the feet and bring the knees towards the chest. Flex your feet super hard. Good. Now drop both your knees towards the right side of your body, bringing your knees up towards that right elbow and working to drop that left shoulder back and down towards the mat. Eye gaze is still up towards the ceiling. Flex your feet really hard here and pull your knees towards your chest. Jatari Parivartanasana. Let me just make sure everybody's looking good. Oh, beautiful job, you guys. Yes. Yes, nice work. Feeling that stretch, working to keep that left shoulder grounded into the mat. Now, if your left shoulder is grounded, feel free to go ahead and look over the left fingertips. This will increase the stretch through the neck and the shoulder. If you feel like you need a little bit more with that left hip, you can take the right hand, grab a hold of the left hip, and start to peel it down towards the mat in front of you. You'll feel this stretch. This is a way for us to give ourselves a nice little self-adjustment, a nice little depth into the posture. If you feel like you want to increase the hamstring stretch here, lengthen and straighten your legs out towards your right fingertips. Flex your feet hard so legs are nice and long, reaching towards the right side of your mat. Maybe you can grab a hold of those toes with your right fingertips. Keep flexing the feet hard here. Or maybe you kept those knees bent. That's just fine. You choose your own adventure. Every time we add on, it changes the stretch. If those legs are long, bend them back. Keep flexing your feet. Draw your eye gaze back up to the ceiling and tuck your chin back to your chest. With your next inhale, use your core. Keep those legs nice and tight together and bring them back up. Drop the soles of the feet back into the mat and recenter your spine on the mat. Get yourself nice and centered back on your mat. Shoulder blades drop back and down to lift that heart space. The soles of the feet are still into the mat and the knees still up to the sky. Tuck your chin back into your chest. And as you inhale, lift your hips up. Shift them over to the right about 3 to 4 inches and drop those hips back down to the mat. Now draw your knees into your chest and flex your feet super hard. Eye gaze still up to the ceiling. Now drop both knees towards the left side of your body, bringing those knees as close to that left elbow as you can, really squeezing them up towards the body. Work to drop that right shoulder and keep it grounded into the mat. Palms are pressing into the mat here. If the right shoulder is grounded, only if the right shoulder is grounded, look over the right fingertips. Increase your stretch. Keep flexing your feet. And don't forget to breathe. Beautiful. Nice job, ladies. Good. If you want a little bit more, feel free to take that left palm and drag it across the right hip, peeling it down towards the mat, towards your belly. Feeling the stretch increase on that right hip. If you want to increase that hamstring stretch,
Straighten the legs. Kick the soles of the feet out towards the left side of your body. Reaching the toes up towards that left fingertip. Maybe you can grab a hold of those toes with your fingertips. Keep flexing those feet hard, feeling the length through the side body. Good, bend those knees. Use your next inhale. Draw your eye gaze back up to the ceiling and then draw your knees back up towards the ceiling. Drop the soles of the feet back into the mat and recenter your spine. Tuck the shoulders back up underneath that heart space. Kick up off the feet and give yourself a great big hug. Draw the forehead into the knees. Squeeze those legs into the chest. Chin comes into the chest. Good. Let it go. Release it down. Get all the wiggles and shakes out here. If you want to wiggle the legs, wiggle the arms. Maybe you need to do another little side twist. Get out whatever you need here. Take any movements that resonate for you. And then meet me in your final pose, Shavasana. Letting it go. Take your time getting here. You can work into that traditional Shavasana with the legs nice and long and zipped up. Maybe you want to spread those legs wide and reach your arms out like a starfish. I want you to choose your adventure today. Take a nice big deep breath and just let it go. As you exhale, just release. Let it go. Starting to notice your breath. Is it quick? Is it slow? Can you guide it with a little bit more control? If your heart is racing, just tell it to slow down. If your mind is racing, acknowledge the thoughts as they come in and then send them away like a cloud in the sky. Always working to find that space between the thoughts. Acknowledging and recognizing that those thoughts will come. We don't dwell on the thought. We let it go. Allowing that space to grow further and further between those thoughts. Allow your breath to deepen. Let go of anything that you have to deal with when you leave our class today. It'll still be there for you when we're done with this meditation. Starting to resist that urge to fidget, that urge to move. There's no need to wiggle that finger, wiggle that toe. That's the ego trying to get in the way of you finding that space between the thoughts. Don't let the ego occupy your mind here. Let your body become one with the mat, become one with everything around you. Each exhale gives you that opportunity to release and melt away a little deeper. Maybe you think about having a magic eraser. Maybe you use that eraser in every little spot where your body is touching the mat. Imagine erasing away that line, allowing your body just to become one with everything around it. Allowing your breath to carry you away. Know that you are safe here. Know that your mat supports you, has your back. Know that any of life's troubles can be managed by coming back to this breath. When we have control over our breath, we have control over our response, our reaction. We can find clarity within that breath, and sometimes even some guidance. Taking another moment
to find something you're truly grateful for. Taking this moment to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Starting to feel the peace fill your body. Knowing that the gratitude you find today will continue to multiply the more you look for it, the more you acknowledge it. It becomes easier to see what we're grateful for, what we're thankful for. I encourage you today to take several opportunities to either show someone that you're grateful for them or show yourself that you're grateful for you. It's not selfish. It's important to recognize and truly love ourselves. Take a nice, big, deep breath. Allow the breath to cover you and robe you with love and gratefulness, all the way down from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Starting to bring a little bit of awareness back into your body, back into your room. Noticing the space around you, the sounds, the temperature, the vibration. Starting to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Begin waking up the body, maybe for the second time today. Bringing a new awareness to every inch, every ounce of your being. Keeping your eyes closed, taking your time, rolling to one side or the other, and finding a nice sitting position. Be gentle with your body here. Move slowly. Move like you love yourself. And keeping the eyes closed, settling into that seat. Taking another deep breath to recognize the space around us, to celebrate what our bodies are capable of, and giving thanks for that. Draw your palms together and gently rub them together, creating a little bit of heat. Place the palms on your eyes, gently covering those eyes. Feel the warmth pressing into the eye sockets, activating all the chakras, waking it up. And then gently release the hands, open your eyes, maybe with a smile on your face. Welcome back. Welcome. So I encourage you, if you have a moment, if you'd like to unmute yourself, if you have anything you'd like to share, like to say, I'd be welcome and humbled to hear from you.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Thank you.
You're welcome, Deanna. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself today and participating and practicing. Thank you.
Yes, and thanks for the opportunity to do this. This is great. Great.
Of course, Chris. Thank you for showing up, and your excitement just had me going today. Thank you so much for being present and making yourself known. And I hope that you'll join us in the future for more of these classes.
Thank you, Rachel. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you for blessing us with your voice and your presence today.
Thank you for showing up for yourself. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Awesome. Anyone else? Anyone else have anything to say? You're good?
I'm so good.
Awesome. I love you guys. I love you so much. Namaste. The light in me definitely is reflecting the light in you guys today. And I appreciate you for showing up for yourself and showing up for me. And your presence and your energy has just been fabulous. And I hope that this blesses your day as much as it's blessed mine. So thank you. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.